Hello, Mr. Schmitz. Unfortunately, I was probably one of few students that forgot to submit the first video in the school year where you had to say your name and your major. But hello, my name is Sunny Inakolu, and I am a finance major here at Georgia State. To remind you a bit about me, I was one of the two students that missed Unit 2 test and came up and talked to you, but I hope this clears up there. Now enjoy the presentation. Thank you very much.
Effective pivot table. So go ahead and press pivot table. Here we go, guys. We have a full set of data. The first thing we're going to do is figure out the gross margin. So go ahead and column S, type in gross margin. And the column underneath it, we're going to insert the formula to help us get the gross margin for the whole data. And that formula is parentheses, unit price, so go ahead and press P2, minus unit cost, go ahead and press Q2, close parentheses, divide it by the unit price. There we go. First set of data already achieved. Instead of copying that formula down for everyone, we can double tap right there and it'll fill in the whole data of gross margin for the whole sets because we have over 500 things to do there. There we go. First step, gross margin already complete. Now we're going to highlight the whole graph. A simple way to highlighting the whole graph is you can press anywhere in the graph and do Command A. Highlights the whole graph. Go to Insert, Pivot Table, and make sure it says New Worksheet, and then press OK. So now here we go. We have a whole bunch of things to do with our pivot table on this side. The first thing we're going to do is move sales channel to columns, and then find ship date and move that to rows. When you put that in, there's a whole bunch of excess data that pops up. The only thing we need here is quarters. So go ahead and press the I icon, and then press hide, hide, hide. So now here we go, we have the quarters right there. The next thing we want to do is find the gross margin, put that into values, and order quantities. We want to put that into values as well. So we need to tweak up our data to make sure everything is neat. So for the gross margin, we're going to want to press average, and then press number, then go to number, and make sure it has 2 decimal places. There we go. Has 2. Press OK. And now for our sum of order quantities, good thing it's already on sum because we wanted it to be at sum, but we want to press number, number, and make sure it's at 0 decimals. And use the 1,000 separator. Then press OK. Here we go, everyone. You see how our data is very neat and organized with 2 decimal places alternating with just the 1,000s to make sure our data is very easy to read. The very next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a slicer. So right here, we're going to press Insert Slicer under Pivot Table Analyze. And for the 2 things we want to press in our slicer are the product and sales channel. So there we go. We see sales channel, and now scroll down until you see product. Not product ID, it's product. Then press OK. Now we're going to have 2 little menus that we can pick from and play around with our data. The first thing we're going to do is in products, we want to press sculptures. Don't scroll up and down with your mouse. Make sure you're on the cursor. Go ahead and go find it. It'll be in alphabetical order, and press on sculptures. Then for the sales channel, we want to see online. So go ahead and press online. And now our data has completely shrunken to the exact things that we wanted because first our table is so broad. If you press wholesale, it'll change. Rugs, change. Just make sure it's on these 2 for now. You can tweak it in the future. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a pivot chart. So go ahead and press somewhere on the graph, go back to Pivot Table Analyze, then press Pivot Chart right here. This chart will appear right here. Go ahead, make it a bit bigger so everyone can see it. Tweak it up a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change the chart. Go back to Insert, still pressing the chart, and you see this little icon right here, press on it. Hover over this one, it's going to say line on secondary axis. That's exactly what we want. Go ahead and press on it. And just to show that this graph is going to correspond with this data above, if you press in store, it'll change. Online, back to normal. Rugs, sculptures, So now you guys have a gist and a solid understanding of how to create a pivot table and to play around with it a little bit. Thank you very
One of my
much.
favorite things to do is sing in the shower until I get soap in my mouth. It becomes a soap opera.